There's no wrong way to live a simple life, and in this video I want to show you that the key for me living a simple life is discovering how much is enough for me, or for us, for my wife and myself, to live a simple life. And the key we find is to give our energy and pursue the things that really do matter to us, and leaving aside the things that are not significant, that are not relevant, that we choose not to pursue. And simplicity is not deprivation. Instead, it's simply choosing the things that really matter, and discovering what you truly value must start with self-compassion. And this is different than selfishness. It's a real caring for yourself, and in that, discovering what is true and what is really relevant and what really matters to you. And to choose this, you've got to be aware of whose expectations you're trying to meet. Are you trying to meet your own expectations, or you're always out trying to meet expectations that other people put on you? Maybe your boss, maybe your pastor or your priest, maybe your peers. What really matters is that you are true to yourself and true to what is relevant to you. Then you can decide how much is enough, and not be constrained by those who presume to have authority over you and to get you to do their will and what they expect. And this is something I touched on in an earlier video. It's apatheia. It's not being apathetic, but it's being focused on what really matters and not giving your thoughts and feelings, not lending your emotions to things that happen in your life that don't really matter. So apatheia is not a matter of being lazy, but it's a matter of choosing what is truly relevant to you. And simplicity also means living within our financial means. So that's choosing the things that we spend our money on carefully, and only spending money on what really matters. I don't drive a fancy car. I don't even wear a watch, let alone a fancy one. And I have a cheap phone. I prefer to consume less and enjoy what we have and live within our means. And sometimes consuming less also means recycling and reusing. So sometimes I'll buy secondhand clothes, or buy secondhand things, furniture or what have you, or repurpose things or repair things if they're broken, rather than just go off and replace them. And this allows us to live on less and be satisfied with less, knowing that we choose how much is enough for ourselves. And having less stuff generally means we have a lower maintenance life. We tend to create more and consume less. And this is also consuming less news, less social media, less stuff that takes up our thought space and our emotional space, and only giving that to what truly matters. And this goes for relationships as well. It's choosing to spend valuable time with people you really enjoy spending time with, people that you connect with on many levels and on deeper levels, to have richer and more beneficial conversation and social time together. For me, that means spending time with people who generally like art and music and talk about spirituality, and are just generally open to having good, free-flowing conversation. And another thing that helps me have a simpler life is having some good routines and rituals, things that I do regularly that have meaning to my life, but that are repetitive and in some ways quite predictable. And these are often things, simple things like exercising regularly and eating well, and having time in my life for some peace and quiet, for some prayer and meditation. When I do these things routinely, they flow into my life, and life is happier and more simple. Because this bit of structure, it's not strict, it's not something I really have to do, I'm not compelled to do it, but doing these things routinely, I find gives me a richer life. And because it's routine, because they happen generally at the same time or in the same way, it's not consuming a lot of my thought or emotional energy. And this really helps me to guard my mind a lot of the time, because we get so much influence coming from outside, and particularly when we're looking at the internet, what we're looking at on our phones, whether it's social media or AI or watching videos or whatever we're doing, it means that we're actually not present in the here and now. So we're giving ourselves to something somewhere else that a lot of the time has no real meaningful impact on our life. If we cut it out, we're not going to notice that it's missing. It's going to be better for us if it's not there, because then our lives are more simple, and then we can be focused on what really matters to us and how much is enough. And these thoughts are comparable a lot of times to junk thoughts, is like junk food. If we think about stuff that really doesn't matter, it's not nurturing us, it's not feeding our minds or our hearts or our spirits anything, much the same way as if we consume junk food, it's not actually providing any decent nutrients to our bodies. It just tastes good or feels good for a short time, but in the long run, it's actually not beneficial to us at all. Simplicity for me is making intentional choices and putting them into practice. And I'd like to encourage you to think about what choices that you can make and put them into practice that will help you have a more simple, enjoyable life. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about my thoughts on this topic and something that can help you achieve this, you can check out this video next. Thanks very much for watching.